Well, as the world holds its breath before the high-stakes Alaska summit, Russia is moving to make its deadliest point by preparing to test a so-called unstoppable nuclear missile. This comes as it is revealed that Trump's Golden Dome includes 3 layers of missiles interceptors, radar arrays and lasers, in addition to its space-based defenses. Our next report telling you more.
In the icy silence of the Arctic, a dangerous game is afoot. While Presidents Trump and Putin prepare to meet in Alaska, the Kremlin is making a move that speaks louder than any diplomatic communique. Far from the negotiating table, in the remote Novaya Zemlya archipelago, satellite imagery has revealed a flurry of ominous activity. Ships redirecting their courses, tracking aircraft in the skies, and a palpable air of secrecy. The 9M730 Burevestnik is a nuclear-powered cruise missile. It is a ground-launched, low-flying cruise missile that is not only capable of carrying a nuclear warhead, but is also nuclear-powered. It uses a miniature nuclear reactor as its power source. If these tests are successful, Russia will have a unique weapon. A nuclear missile that moves on a nuclear propulsion system, giving it an unlimited range that can hit any other point on the planet from any point. This terrifying capability would allow it to fly for days, evading missile defenses and approaching targets from unexpected directions. Its existence is the ultimate trump card in the escalating arms race. Across the Atlantic, President Trump is doubling down on his own superpower statement, the $175 billion Golden Dome Initiative, a space-based missile and laser shield inspired by Israel's Iron Dome and designed to intercept everything from traditional warheads to hypersonic missiles. The Golden Dome, still on the drawing board, is billed as a next-generation force field, but faces immense technical and financial obstacles. In this new arms race, both Trump and Putin are thinking bigger, bolder, and ever more dangerous. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Well, in Geneva, talks to finalize the world's first legally binding treaty to curb plastic pollution are on the brink of a collapse. The negotiations that were seen as a last chance to tackle the growing crisis have now hit a deadlock, with deep divisions over limits on virgin plastic and controls on harmful chemicals. As time runs out, countries are scrambling for a compromise that could still salvage the deal. Take a look.
Plastic, be ambitious. See plastic, be ambitious. Sick of plastic.
Well, Sam Altman and Elon Musk race to connect human brains directly with artificial intelligence. With Altman's OpenAI-backed Merge Labs and Musk's Neuralink each promising to read minds and rewrite the boundary between humanity and technology. Watch this story, which shows how the future is nearer than we thought. Take a look.
This is no sci-fi fantasy. It's real and it's happening. Elon Musk's Neuralink already has a head start, implanting coin-sized chips in humans, enabling thought-controlled cursors, gaming, even partial restoration for paralyzed patients. A surgical robot delicately threads electrodes into the brain, translating neurons into movement. Its goal: implant 20,000 users annually by 2031, building a $9 billion neurotech empire. Sam Altman, once Musk's partner at OpenAI, is pushing his Merge Labs, a brain-computer interface startup aiming to leapfrog Neuralink with AI-enhanced, less invasive implants. Backed by OpenAI Ventures with plans to raise $250 million at an $850 million valuation, Merge seeks to connect minds to machines at unprecedented bandwidth. Musk has the hardware edge. Altman brings AI smart techs. Neuralink's human trials reveal potential and limitations, retracting threads, partial connectivity. Altman believes Merge's AI focus can overcome those limits. The UK has approved Neuralink trials. China is advancing similar devices. Both camps see clinical hope in restoring mobility and communication for paralyzed people. But beyond medicine lies the broader controversial quest, merging human cognition with AI.
Well, it's Trump versus Biden yet again, but this time it's the relatives who are inside the fighting ring, with U.S. First Lady Melania Trump threatening to sue former U.S. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. Here's what happened. Melania demanded that Biden retract comments linking her to Jeffrey Epstein, failing which she said she would be forced to slap a lawsuit for more than $1 billion. In an interview with an American journalist this month, Hunter Biden alleged that it was Epstein who had introduced Melania to Donald Trump. Since then, his comments became viral on the internet and were widely shared by media outlets, calling these statements false, defamatory, and extremely salacious. Melania's lawyer fired back at Biden. In a strongly worded letter addressed to Hunter Biden, Melania's lawyer hinted at the fact that these have caused great financial as well as reputational harm to the First Lady. During the interview, Hunter Biden also strongly criticized Donald Trump's former ties to Epstein, both of whom were initially friends but fell out in the early 2000s. Not just that, Biden also lashed out at elites and others in the Democratic Party, calling them a reason behind Joe Biden's last-minute exit from the presidential campaign last year. And since then, we have been seeing that the Trump versus Biden spat has only grown uglier. When it comes to the Epstein saga, controversy almost never leaves the room, with new shocking details emerging as it unfolds. In a covert operation straight out of a techno-thriller, U.S. agencies have been secretly placing location tracking devices in advanced chips. Their target? Illicit diversions to China. According to a Reuters report, the move is aimed at preventing illegal diversion of AI chips to China. The report says that these trackers are being used on select shipments that are already under investigation. These trackers could, in fact, help the Trump administration build cases against people and companies who are profiting from violating U.S. export controls. But the question is, how effective will these trackers be if the reports are indeed true? 5 other people actively involved in the AI server supply chain are said to be aware of the use of trackers in server shipments. These shipments belong to manufacturers like Dell and Supermicro, which contain chips from NVIDIA and AMD. Sources say that the trackers are typically hidden in the packaging of the shipments, although they are unsure who was installing them or where were they along inserted on the route. These trackers are reported as coming in two sizes. Number one, large trackers, sometimes as big as a regular smartphone, attached to the shipping box. And number two are the smaller ones, more discreet devices hidden inside the packaging and even within the servers themselves.
The Trump administration have asked NVIDIA, or are talking about forcing them to build tracking technology into their chips that won't allow them to work abroad. It's very hard to see that that could be successful. So if they had GPS sort of capabilities built into them, it's very easy to spoof GPS. We see that, for example, in Ukraine, used to confuse drones, and lots of countermeasures used to defeat it. And you can easily use things like VPNs to make it appear.
Meanwhile, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has said that it is not aware of the matter. The US began restricting the sale of advanced chips from manufacturers like NVIDIA and AMD to China in 2022. The United States, which dominates the global AI chip supply chain, has been actively trying to limit exports of chips and other technology to China, citing national security concerns.
Things can be used, for instance, to model nuclear explosions and in all sorts of defence roles, and in weapons, in fact, for the sort of lower end graphics cards, to give them sort of autonomous capabilities. So they do have a military use. There's no question about it. They can also be used for decrypting information and spying.
This year in July, the Trump administration recommended implementing location verification technology to their chips, a move that was applauded by US lawmakers from both the parties in both the houses of Congress. China has responded to US chip export restrictions and the new location tracking proposal with strong criticism. Last month, China summoned NVIDIA, expressing concerns over the risks of its chips containing backdoors, a claim that NVIDIA has denied. Earlier this month, NVIDIA released a statement saying that adding a backdoor could create a security risk and further undermine user trust, further adding that doing so would be a gift to hackers and hostile actors.